He wanted to be successful, but the master gave him an empty tube of bamboo. What happened next changed everything. One day, a young leopard came rushing into the Zen master's garden. His turquoise eyes burned with ambition.
Master, I want to be someone great. I want to rise above everyone. Please teach me the secret of success.
The Zen master looked up from tending his bonsai and smiled gently. He said nothing. Instead, he walked into his hut and returned holding a simple hollow bamboo tube. He handed it to the young leopard.
Carry this bamboo with you for the next 7 days. Then return to me.
Confused, the leopard accepted it.
That's it?
The master just bowed silently. As the leopard wandered through the forest and villages with the bamboo, he became restless.
How is this supposed to make me successful?
He passed merchants counting coins. He saw lions training to be warriors. He heard birds singing of fame. And there he was. Carrying a hollow stick, he felt foolish, but he kept going. He noticed something strange. Wherever he walked, the bamboo would collect sounds, wind, rain, whispers, music, silence. It carried everything, yet held onto nothing. After 7 days, he returned to the master. He placed the bamboo on the ground and said,
I still don't understand. What does this mean?
The Zen master picked up the bamboo and held it to his ear. Then he smiled.
This bamboo is empty. And because it is empty, it can carry music, wind, and water. It is useful because it is open.
He looked at the young leopard.
Success is not about how much you hold, but how much you can receive. If your mind is already full with ego, ambition, and noise, there's no space for wisdom, compassion, or purpose.
The leopard sat in silence, his tail wrapped gently around his paws, his ears twitched, and then he understood. The world tells us to collect, to compete, to climb. But Zen teaches us something different. True success is like the bamboo, strong yet flexible, grounded yet open. Its power lies in its emptiness. When we empty ourselves of pride and expectations, we become vessels for growth, connection, and true purpose. What could you achieve if you emptied your bamboo today? Have you ever tried so hard to solve a problem that the more you thought, the less you understood? This is a story about a young leopard who learned that clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from thinking less. One restless morning, the young leopard paced back and forth. Thoughts raced in his head like wind in a storm.
What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if I miss something?
He looked exhausted. The Zen master sat nearby, silent, holding a small, full bowl of water. Without a word, he tilted it. Water spilled over the edge.
Why did you do that?
The master smiled.
When your mind is full, Even a drop of worry can cause it to overflow.
He handed the bowl to the cub.
Try walking with this. Don't let it spill.
Carefully, the leopard walked forward. But after a few steps, the water trembled and spilled again. Frustrated, the leopard said,
I'm trying so hard. Why can't I keep it steady?
The master gently took the bowl.
You don't need to carry a full bowl. You need to empty it.
He poured out half the water.
Now, walk again.
This time, the leopard moved calmly. Nothing spilled. He smiled. Later that day, a young leopard sat under a tree. His mind felt quiet. No more chasing thoughts. No more pressure to hold everything at once. Just breath. Just stillness. Just now. And in that stillness, he saw more clearly than ever before. When your mind is too full, even peace can't find space. Let go, empty your mind, and clarity will return on its own. What if your true strength isn't visible at all? In this quiet Zen story, a young leopard learns that real success doesn't need to be seen. It only needs to be known. The young leopard loved applause. He would leap between rocks, race through trees, and balance perfectly on narrow branches. Animals clapped. Some cheered. He smiled wide. But at night, he felt something missing.
I want to be more than impressive. I want to be strong, truly strong.
The old Zen master didn't answer. He just began walking. And the leopard followed. They walked through forests, fields, and valleys. No one watched. No one clapped. The leopard grew restless.
Where are we going?
The master kept walking. They passed a massive tree struck by lightning, a mountain path carved by water, and finally, a quiet river. There, the master stopped. He pointed to a gray stone.
Pick it up.
The leopard struggled. The stone was heavier than it looked, but he lifted it. It was smooth, unshaped.
It doesn't shine.
No, it doesn't need to. This stone has held the mountain from below. It's never been seen, never been praised. But without it, everything above would collapse.
The leopard was quiet. His breath slowed. His eyes softened. They walked back. No applause. No audience, but something had changed. The leopard still leapt and danced, but he no longer needed to be watched. He felt something deeper now, not the thrill of being seen, but the quiet strength of being enough. The stone was still there, unmoving, unnoticed, and powerful, just like him. True strength is not built by proving yourself to the world. It is forged in patience, in silence, and in unseen moments. And one day, without seeking it, your stone will shine. Have you ever said something in anger and wished you could take it back? Have you ever felt trapped inside your own reaction, like a storm rising before you could stop it? This is the story of a little leopard who thought strength meant to fight back. but learned a different kind of power, a power found in calm. One quiet morning, the young leopard sat by the monastery gate. His tail flicked, his breath was sharp.
I was doing so well, focused, calm, just like the master taught me.
But today, a monkey had stolen his fruit, a squirrel had mocked his size, and now his patience was wearing thin.
It's not fair. Why do they always test me? I can't take it anymore.
At that moment, the Zen master appeared. He stood beside the leopard, silent. The master didn't scold. He didn't explain. He simply waited. After a long pause, he spoke softly.
You feel the fire rising. That is natural, but you have a choice.
A choice to let them win?
No, a choice to not let them control your peace.
The leopard blinked, confused. He had never thought of it that way. Later, they walked together along a quiet path. The forest around them was still. The master led the leopard to a small pond. They sat by the water's edge.
Tell me, what do you see?
My reflection. But it's restless.
The master picked up a pebble and let it fall into the pond. Ripples spread across the surface.
And now?
The leopard watched as his reflection blurred.
I can't see myself clearly anymore.
Strong emotions are like these ripples. When you react immediately, the world becomes unclear. But if you wait, it settles.
The leopard sat quietly, watching the ripples fade. He felt his own breath slow with the water.
I want to be like that, still, even when things stir inside.
Days passed. The young leopard returned to the monastery garden. He knew what awaited him. The monkey was there, loud as ever, the squirrel, ready with his teasing grin. The leopard felt the familiar heat rising, but this time, he remembered the pond. He inhaled deeply, held the breath for a moment, and exhaled slowly. The monkey shouted. The leopard glanced at him, smiled softly, and walked on. The squirrel pointed, expecting a reaction, but the leopard's steps remained calm. From the shaded bench, the master watched.
You're not so small after all, when you carry peace inside.
That evening, the young leopard and the master walked side by side through the forest path. No words were needed. The air was calm. Each step felt steady, grounded. The leopard's ears twitched as he listened to the sounds of the forest, to the rhythm of his own breath.
I used to think being strong meant fighting back.
And what do you think now?
The leopard paused, looking up at the master.
Now I think strength is in choosing how I meet things. Not everything deserves my energy.
Very good. The world will always invite you to react, but true strength is choosing your own pace.
They continued walking in silence, but inside, the leopard felt different, lighter, wiser with every step. He was no longer pushed by the world. He was walking his own path. There will always be storms around you, loud voices, harsh words, unfair moments, but peace begins when you stop letting them inside. The power of not reacting isn't weakness, it's wisdom, it's freedom, it's strength. And it belongs to you. The next time the storm comes, how will you choose to respond? There once was a young leopard who longed to be strong, not just strong of body, but strong of spirit. He wanted to be unshakable, wise, and calm like his master. One morning, as golden light filtered through the trees, he asked,
Master, how do I become strong inside, like you? When the world shakes you, you still seem steady. I want to learn that.
The old Zen master smiled, his eyes warm and knowing. He didn't speak at first, but handed the leopard a small wooden bucket.
Strength doesn't begin with answers. It begins with a rhythm, a return, a task done with presence.
Then he turned toward the mountain.
Come, walk with me.
And so the leopard followed, up a narrow path lined with stone and moss. At the top, a small spring shimmered quietly.
Fill the bucket.
And he did.
Now, carry it down.
The days became weeks. Each morning, the leopard climbed up. Each afternoon, he carried the water down. No lessons, no praise, just the same path, the same silence. At first, he tried to stay focused, but slowly, doubt crept in. One day, exhausted and overwhelmed, he slipped. The bucket hit the ground. Water spilled across the path, and the leopard sank to his knees, eyes brimming with tears.
This isn't what I asked for. I wanted to grow stronger, not carry water like a servant.
He looked up at the master.
You haven't taught me anything.
The master stood silently nearby, hands folded, heart open, not scolding, not fixing, just witnessing. That evening, they sat together at the edge of a rock ledge. The forest stretched out below, bathed in golden light. The leopard stared into the distance.
Maybe I'm just not made for this. I thought strength would feel different, bigger, braver.
The master looked at him gently and asked,
Do you remember your first climb?
Yes, my paws hurt. I spilled the water. I thought I'd never make it.
And today?
The leopard paused.
I didn't stop once. My breathing was calm. Even the bucket felt lighter.
The master smiled.
You thought you were just carrying water, but you were also carrying frustration, fear, ego. Each step stripped some of it away.
He touched the bucket lightly.
Discipline is not a lesson, it's a mirror. You've been learning all along.
The next day, nothing had changed. Same path, same trees, same bucket. And yet, everything felt different. The leopard walked in silence, but this time, with peace. His steps were steady, his eyes soft, his breath sure. He no longer needed answers. The rhythm had become his own. Behind him, the master smiled quietly. The path had done its work. Discipline isn't something we force. It's something we become through quiet repetition, presence, and trust. It doesn't shout. It whispers, and in that whisper, we grow strong. So let me ask you, what are you quietly carrying right now? And who are you becoming? With each step, The young leopard had never seen anything so shiny. It glittered like sunlight and whispered of treasure, power, success. But what he didn't know, what glitters, isn't always gold. This is a story of a little leopard, a golden bowl, and the quiet lesson of letting go. As morning light filtered through the ancient forest, the young leopard trotted beside his master. Suddenly, his turquoise eyes widened.
Master, look, what's that?
From beneath the roots of an old tree, a golden bowl gleamed. The leopard crouched down, gently pulling it free.
It's beautiful. Can I keep it?
He asked, tail curling in excitement. The master smiled, resting on his staff.
If you believe it will bring you joy, then take it.
The leopard hugged the bowl to his chest.
I'll take good care of it.
As they continued their walk, the sunlight danced on the golden surface. But unnoticed, a single leaf drifted quietly to the ground. Days passed. The leopard carried the bowl everywhere.
I must protect it.
He whispered, polishing it even as they climbed rocky paths. But each step grew heavier. His shoulders ached. His heart raced.
What if I drop it? What if someone steals it?
He lagged behind, ears drooping. The master walked ahead, calm and unbothered.
Master, why does something so precious make me so afraid?
But the only answer was the rustle of falling leaves. That evening, by a quiet stream, the leopard sat with the bowl in his lap. He gazed at his reflection in the golden surface, eyes tired, posture tense. The master knelt beside him.
You hold it like a treasure, yet you suffer.
I thought it would make me happy, but now it feels like I'm trapped.
The master smiled gently.
True treasures lighten your heart. Anything that weighs you down might not be treasure after all.
The leopard looked at the bowl again, this time differently. The next morning, the leopard approached the stream once more. He placed the golden bowl softly on a stone.
Thank you, but I'm done carrying you.
He straightened up, shoulders light, paws steady. As they walked on, his step was quicker. His tail swayed freely. The master watched with a knowing smile.
No lesson is heavier than the one we carry too long.
For the leopard, the forest seemed brighter, not because he had gained something, but because he had let go. In life, it's easy to mistake shine for value, but the things truly worth carrying are those that set you free. Sometimes the greatest treasure is the peace of an empty hand. Sometimes the most broken hearts need the softest hands. This is the story of a young leopard and a wounded panda who had forgotten how to trust. But kindness remembers. One morning, the young leopard was walking along the forest path when he spotted something at the edge of the trees. A panda, quiet, trembling, with a wounded arm and lowered gaze. He looked like he had lost more than just his strength. The leopard didn't speak. He just sat nearby and stayed,
You don't have to talk. I'll just be here.
Day after day, the leopard returned. No words, no questions. Just a bamboo cup filled with fresh water, placed gently beside the panda. Sometimes a fruit, sometimes a leaf to shield him from the sun.
For you, no need to say anything.
Kindness does not rush. It waits. One morning, as golden light danced through the trees, the panda slowly lifted his head. His eyes met the leopard's.
Why are you being so kind to me?
Because someone once was kind to me when I didn't know how to smile either.
There was no fear, only silence, and then a small, soft smile. The leopard smiled back and offered him a flower.
Thank you.
From a distance, the Zen master watched. He whispered,
Gentle strength heals what words never could.
The panda was no longer just a visitor. He had found something deeper than safety. He had found connection. True kindness doesn't need to be loud. It only needs to be real.